The clearing pulsed with ancient energy as Kira's clan gathered under the harvest moon. I stood at the edge, painfully human among creatures of myth and magic. 40 pairs of amber eyes fixed on me, some curious, most hostile. The fox spirits materialized from the forest shadows, their forms shifting between human and vulpine, tails swishing with barely contained emotion. Elder Tomas stepped forward, his silver hair matching his magnificent tail. "Kira of the Northern Ridge, you summon us with great urgency. Explain yourself." My heart hammered against my ribs. For 3 months, Kira and I had hidden what we become to each other. Secret meetings at the boundary stones. Stolen kisses under starlight. Whispered promises that felt impossible. She stood beside me now, trembling slightly. I wanted to reach for her hand, but protocol forbade it. Not yet. Not until she spoke the words that would change everything. "Honored elders, clan kin family," Kira began, her voice wavering. Her ears flattened against her auburn hair. "I invoke the ancient right of claiming." Gasps rippled through the assembly. Someone snarled. Elder Tomas's eyes widened. "You cannot be serious." Her brother Finn growled, stepping forward with 3 other young males flanking him. "A human? You would bind yourself to something so fragile? So short-lived?" "Finn," Kira started. "He'll be dead before you've lived a quarter of your years." Finn's voice cracked with genuine pain. "You'll watch him wither and die while you remain unchanged. Is that what you want?" Kira's hand found mine then, propriety forgotten. Her fingers interlaced with mine, small and warm and shaking. "I know what I'm choosing. Do you?" Her mother emerged from the crowd, elegant and heartbroken. "Kira, my treasure, once you claim him, there's no undoing it. Your life force will tie to his. You'll feel his pain, share his mortality. When he fades, part of you fades too." I tried to pull my hand away. "Kira, if this costs you, don't." She whirled to face me, tears streaming down her cheeks, catching moonlight. "Don't you dare, Ethan. Don't you dare try to make this choice for me." Her amber eyes blazed with something fierce and wild and utterly certain. She turned back to her clan, and everything about her changed. Her spine straightened. Her chin lifted. The trembling stopped. When she spoke again, her voice rang clear across the clearing, powerful enough to silence every whisper. "I choose him," she declared. "I choose Ethan Reed, and I will hear no argument against it." The challenge hung in the air like smoke. By clan law, they had to accept or issue a formal challenge. Either way, our lives would never be the same. Elder Tomas studied us both for a long moment. Then he sighed deeply. "Very well. Let the trials begin." 3 trials, Elder Tomas announced, his voice carrying an edge of resignation. "As our laws dictate, the human must prove himself worthy. Strength of body, clarity of mind, and purity of heart." Kira squeezed my hand tighter. "The trials haven't been invoked in 2 centuries, she whispered urgently. "Ethan, you don't have to." "I do." I looked at her, really looked at her, the way moonlight caught in her hair, the desperate hope in her eyes, the small scar above her left eyebrow from when she'd fallen from a tree trying to impress me with her climbing skills. "I do have to. For us." The clan formed a wide circle. Finn stepped into the center, cracking his knuckles. Of course. The first trial, strength, and they'd chosen her own brother as my opponent. "Don't kill him," Kira called out, trying to sound light but failing miserably. Finn's smile held no humor. "I'll try to restrain myself." I entered the circle. I'd been in fights before, bar scuffles, a few bad encounters in the city. But Finn wasn't human. Even in his mostly human form, he possessed supernatural strength and speed. He moved first, a blur of motion. His fist connected with my ribs, and I went flying, hitting the ground hard enough to knock the wind from my lungs. Laughter rippled through some of the clan members. "Stay down, human," Finn advised, not unkindly. "You've proven your courage by standing here. No one expects you to win." I dragged myself to my feet, tasting copper. "I didn't come here to lose." Something flickered in Finn's expression. Respect, maybe, or pity. He came at me again, but this time I was ready. I'd watched Kira move 1,000 times, studied the way fox spirits telegraph their attacks with slight ear twitches, minute weight shifts. I ducked under his swing and drove my shoulder into his midsection. It was like hitting a brick wall, but I felt him grunt. Not much, but enough. We circled each other. He was faster, stronger, better in every measurable way. But I had something he didn't expect. I knew his sister. I knew their family. I'd listened to Kira's stories about growing up, about Finn teaching her to hunt, about his protective nature that sometimes crossed into overbearing. "She told me about the time you cried for 3 days when your first rabbit familiar died," I said quietly, blocking another strike. "She told me you're scared of thunderstorms, that you check on her every single night to make sure she's safe." Finn froze, just for a heartbeat. "I'm not here to take her from you," I continued, breathing hard. "I'm here to stand beside her, to protect her the way you always have. I'm not your enemy, Finn. I'm family, if you'll let me be." His fist stopped inches from my face. The clearing went silent. Finn's hand dropped slowly. His amber eyes searched my face, looking for deception and finding only exhausted honesty. Blood trickled from my split lip, and my ribs screamed with every breath, but I didn't break eye contact. "You love her," he said finally. Not a question. "More than anything." He glanced over at Kira, who stood rigid at the circle's edge, hands clasped so tightly her knuckles had gone white. When he looked back at me, something in his expression had softened. "The trial isn't about winning," Finn said quietly, just for me. "It's about not giving up. About proving you'll fight for her even when it's hopeless." He raised his voice for the clan. "The human has shown strength of spirit. He passes the first trial." Relief washed through the assembly, some disappointed, others pleasantly surprised. Kira's mother had tears on her cheeks. Elder Tomas nodded gravely. "The second trial, clarity of mind." An elderly female stepped forward, her silver-white tail pristine. "I am Elder Yuki. For this trial, you must navigate the maze of mirrors." She gestured, and the forest itself seemed to shift. Trees moved like living things, creating a labyrinth of reflective surfaces, water, ice, polished stone. Each surface showed not my reflection, but possible futures. "Find the true path," Yuki instructed. "The maze will show you temptations, fears, alternate lives. Many humans lose themselves in what might be. You have until the moon reaches its zenith." I entered the maze. Immediately, the surfaces shimmered to life. The first mirror showed me and Kira, but she was different, fully human, her fox nature stripped away. We lived in my apartment, ordinary and safe. No clan politics. No supernatural complications. Just normal. "This could be your life," a voice whispered from the glass. "Wouldn't it be easier?" I turned away. That wasn't Kira. Not really. Her fox nature wasn't something to be erased. It was fundamental to who she was. I loved all of her. The next mirror showed darkness. Kira, aged and fading, her vitality drained because she'd tied herself to my human lifespan. Her family gathered around, grief-stricken, blaming me. "You will destroy her," the mirror hissed. "Is your happiness worth her suffering?" My steps faltered. This was my deepest fear, the nightmare that woke me in cold sweats. What right did I have to ask her to give up centuries of life? But then I remembered her words. "Don't you dare try to make this choice for me." Kira was no victim. She was fierce and brilliant and capable of deciding her own fate. My fear didn't give me the right to override her agency. I pushed forward. More mirrors, more temptations, wealth, power, immortality if I abandoned her. Each one I passed with growing certainty. Finally, I found it. A simple, unadorned mirror showing only my true reflection. The exit. Elder Yuki smiled as I emerged. Well done, human. 2 trials passed. 1 remained. The clan's mood had shifted subtly. Where before I had seen only hostility and skepticism, now I caught glimpses of grudging respect. Even curiosity. Kira's mother hadn't stopped crying, but her tears looked different now. Less like grief, more like bittersweet acceptance. Kira herself had moved closer to the circle's edge, her entire body taut with nervous energy. Every time our eyes met, I felt the connection between us like a physical thing, warm and certain and utterly right. Elder Tomas raised his hand for silence. The final trial. Purity of heart. He looked ancient in that moment, weighted with the responsibility of his position. This one is different. There is no opponent, no puzzle. Only truth. He drew a small knife from his belt, the blade gleaming silver white with an inner light. Fox spirits bond through life force, through essence. For a human to claim or be claimed, we must see into your heart completely. No secrets. No shadows. Every joy, every fear, every shame, laid bare before us all. My stomach dropped. All of you will see? Every member of this clan, Tomas confirmed. We must know who you truly are, what you truly want. Whether your love is real or merely infatuation with the exotic. I looked at Kira. She nodded encouragingly, though her ears were flat with concern. She knew my past. The foster homes, the abandonment issues, the walls I'd built to survive. She knew the ugliness I carried. But her clan didn't. I accept, I said. Tomas approached and pricked my finger with the blade. A single drop of blood welled up, but instead of falling, it rose into the air glowing. The glow expanded, and suddenly I felt them, all of them, pressing gently against my consciousness. They saw everything. The childhood loneliness, bounced between homes where I was never quite wanted. The desperate need to be chosen, to matter to someone. They saw my fears that I wasn't good enough, strong enough, worthy enough for Kira. They saw the moment I first met her at the Boundary Stone 6 months ago, both of us curious about the other's world. They saw our first conversation, how she'd made me laugh for the first time in months. Our second meeting, and our third. The moment I realized I was falling in love with her. The terror when I understood what that meant, loving someone from a different world, knowing the obstacles we'd face. They saw my certainty. My absolute, unwavering certainty that Kira was my person. Not because she was exotic or magical or different, but because of who she was, playful and fierce, kind and stubborn, insecure about her small stature but confident in her skills. They saw that I would rather have 20 years with her than 100 years with anyone else. The connection broke. I staggered, suddenly alone in my own head again. Elder Tomas's eyes were bright with unshed tears. I see, he whispered. I see. The silence stretched for an eternity. I stood in the center of the clearing, feeling stripped raw, every vulnerability exposed. The clan had seen all of me, the broken parts, the lonely parts, the parts I'd spent years hiding from the world. Finally, Elder Tomas spoke. Kira of the Northern Ridge, come forward. She practically ran, stopping just before me. Up close, I could see she was trembling again, but her eyes blazed with something magnificent. You have witnessed this human's heart, Tomas addressed the clan. What say you? For a long moment, no one spoke. Then Finn stepped forward. He's stubborn, weak by our standards, and will probably do something stupid to get himself killed within the year. He paused, and a small smile crossed his face. But he loves my sister truly. I support the claiming. One by one, others stepped forward. Kira's mother, still crying, nodded her acceptance. Elder Yuki bowed her head in approval. Even those who'd been most hostile couldn't deny what they'd witnessed. Love in its purest, most vulnerable form. The clan has spoken, Tomas declared. Kira, you may complete the claiming. Kira turned to me, and suddenly we were in our own world. The clan, the forest, the trials, all of it faded to background noise. There was only her, only us. Are you sure? I whispered, giving her one last chance to change her mind. She laughed, and it sounded like music. I've never been more sure of anything. Her hands came up to frame my face. You're mine, Ethan Reed. For however many years we have, you're mine and I'm yours. The claiming itself was surprisingly simple. She kissed me, soft and gentle and sweet, and I felt something fundamental shift in my chest. Warmth spread through me, starting from my heart and radiating outward. I gasped against her mouth. That's us, she murmured. Our lives connected. I'll feel when you're in danger. You'll sense when I need you. We're bound now, truly bound. I could feel it, a golden thread connecting us, thrumming with life and love and possibility. She was right. I could sense her joy, her relief, her fierce pride. We pulled apart to find the entire clan watching with expressions ranging from happiness to awe. Then wiped his eyes roughly. Kira's mother had her hand over her heart. Welcome to the clan, Ethan Reed, Elder Tomas said formally. May your years together be filled with joy. Kira's hand found mine, fingers interlacing naturally. Come on, she said, tugging me toward the forest. I want to show you my favorite place in the territory. No more secrets, no more hiding. Just us. As we walked into the moonlit trees together, I realized something profound. I wasn't just a visitor in her world anymore. I belonged. I was chosen. I was hers, and she was mine, and that was enough.